Alright, I am installing a external voltage regulator on a 96 Ram 2500 diesel. There's a regulator, got a little kit from this spot. I think got off of eBay. So it comes with this, some screws, connectors, zip ties, ground wire, the FRM, the field replacement module, basically for your battery light, the dash. Then you get this harness, comes with the connector. You got a separate wire that needs to be power controlled, like an ignition, or key on only. And then these two wires. So I'm explaining what I got going on. That gold piece over there is the FRM. So basically I gotta put these two wires onto that field, mount it somewhere, should probably mount it here, like such. And then this used to have, this actually bolts to there, so power cable to there, ground wire onto alternator. And then you had, actually, you see it's duct taped up. There's two little connectors that went to here, so it was all mounted, accordingly. I just got a die grinder. I cut them flushed because these two wires are gonna be what goes here, and these two wires go to the FRM, and then my power cable, ground cable. So try to keep it original. That modifying, I just got the two wires from here. They went through here, came out here as little pits. Turn them off, cut them off, put electrical tape, good tape, 3M, and then I am going to get some connectors on here, crimped, soldered, bolted down, get this wired up. Then I'll show you the rest of the process, how I mount it up, and yada yada, how's I go forward. Alright, you get two crimp connectors. You got two big ones. These are for your ground cable, so don't need those. You got smaller ones. That's what you're gonna use for these two wires here. You can see the difference. The camera focus. So trying to make this as real live time as possible. Holy shit. Don't like these crimp connectors, but that's what we're supplied with. Probably got some more, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of solder in there. And I'm just gonna mock it up for now. So I gotta route the harness and everything else. Like that. And this. it's mocked up here. Put the harness through, just follow the other main harness here underneath. Down through there, behind the CAC tube or intake tube, whatever you want to call it. Down here, and this is where it looks like I'm gonna mount the regulator onto a good ground. Connect it there, screw it down, and then I'm gonna figure out how to do my ignition power wire, hook it up to the ignition somehow. All right, got my, oof, that was a close one. Voltage regulator mocked up there. Grinded the paint underneath so I can have good contact, and then clean it up. Here's some more, because you do have to have a ground strap from here all the way to the alternator as well. Obviously you want to verify you have a good ground, so here's a good test light, and just touch the top of this, touch the bolts. So wherever I put my ground strap, I know it'll be a good contact. Alright, that loose black cable that comes with the kit, you install, crimp the two other bigger eyelets on there, got them crimped, soldered, and I'm gonna mount one of the ground wire to here, take that nut off, put it there, run it through the wire loom, and attach it to one of these two nuts. Alright, I got my cables already bolted down, fed my ground wire into the loom, taping it up. Teach you how to tape it up, make it look nice and clean. My dad actually taught me how to do this, at least the proper way. Make sure it holds the wire and loom together versus just putting tape on the outside. Yeah, get some good tape, always good tape, 3M electrical tape. Do 1, 2, and wherever the opening is, that's where you want the electrical tape to be. So see, like that. Then come around. Now stick together. Do a couple strips. And voila. Do it about at least a foot. That's what I've been doing. 10 inches. No, it's about a foot. Spaced out all the way back. Then run it. Then go ahead and run it back to where I want it, which is over there. Alright, so I did cut the electrical tape off to pull these wires out a little bit more, strip the ends, and all I did was, these have a little loop, I put the wire through the loop, just wrapped it around the little coil here. Put some heat shrink on before you do that. So I'm gonna solder these, and then I'm gonna slide the heat shrink over and cover them up, and I'm just gonna mount it like that with some zip ties. It's supposed to be as far away from heat as possible, but I honestly don't know. I would have to pull these wires out through the whole harness and find somewhere else to mount it. Got the fan right there, so it should pull in some kind of air at least. And just zip tie it like that. So I actually had to run the wire through the inside to get ignition switch power. So I ran it through there. Looking for a dark blue wire that basically has power with a key in the run position and no power, key off. Runs to fuse 9 through the inside fuse block. The dark blue wire, it's that one right there, key off. No power. Key on. I got power. So the wire ran through the inside, took a good long piece off. I'm gonna cut piece off here, just the insulation. I'm gonna coil the wire around it, give it a little bit of solder, and then tape it up, and that'll be my ignition power for the voltage regulator. All right, you can see I pretty much got it coming off. All I have to do is I get a razor and I work myself around 2 edges all the way around, and then I slice it down the middle, and I get a pick and kind of pull it off and just work it off. And once I get it off, wrap the other wire around it nice and tight, get a little bit of solder, and then tape it up. All right, so you can get the camera to focus here. I see, got it wrapped around, not too much. There you go, now you can focus on there. Just got it started from here, and I wrapped it all the way up nice and tight. Give it some solder, mainly on, that way it holds together. And I'll put some black tape around there, electrical tape, and we're done. And I'll show you that it's charging now afterwards. All right, nice and soldered up. Just put some electrical tape, and we're done. Got the truck running. Gauge is showing over 14 volts.